Yes, yes, yo, you don't stop, Big John. Come rocking the short shot. Welcome back, you savages, you fucking scoundrels. It's the fastest freaking show in MLB, absolutely anywhere, with your homeboy. With your freaking boy, yo, Big Johnny Stud, coming to you worldwide. Brooklyn, New York, as always. Coming out that damn chair, as always, mi gente. Did another back-to-back stream with the boys to the Sauce Network. I was up till freaking 2 a.m. and I'm losing my mind. I'm going to try not to rant and rave, keep the show on the tracks. Happy fucking Friday, yo. Maybe we can keep this YouTube stream up if I get eliminated again. I have passed their automatic appeals immediately both times, meaning they're taking me down. I appeal it, it immediately gets approved. And so I don't know what to correct. I took the word betting out of the description. Someone told me it could be that. I don't fucking know. I'm old and I'm stupid. Like, I don't know. So I do have one little note today. Check out the Twitter handle, at John the Gazer. That's me. Free sample of all the Substack data today. It's a separate link. Go nuts. Everything's up. I updated everything. Algo, scores, ranks, projections, the hit, run, ribby stuff. So that's on Twitter. Check it out. And see what it's about. You find it in your heart. Support the work. Support good people doing good work. 5 pounds of shit in a 2-pound box. Nuance and context. Rolling out your nose when you hang with us. Baseball's version of 300, people. Give the book nothing. Take from that bitch everything. It ain't madness, yo.
This is Sparta!
Fucking Sparta, baby. We are anti-fragile around here. The more you beat me, the tougher we're gonna get. Little Rocky Balboa thing. But it's the best part of waking up. Pitching sheets in the mug. Okay, 15 games. Everything is late. These are the days. These are the times to remember. So let's get it. I'm feeling really great. Since we made the last adjustment, decoupling from the book in the most recent combine, we've kind of taken off. We've been murdering since, so much so all of those other combines that were losses, we've now made up for all those. Now, I'm not live, but we should pass this one, and now we're in a good position to get real, to use live cash. The combine stuff, I'm telling you, people, is just a great idea. It works for trading. It works for betting. Teaches you discipline, process, and backtesting. Makes you see how often you might be depositing when you don't have an edge. All right, let's get into this, bad bitch. Aronola on the bump for the Fighting Phils, plus 115. Dog on the road into Steel City to face my boy, Braxton Ashcraft on the bump. It's been a rough go for Nola, but the underpinning stuff is a lot stronger, right? You know, the high BABIP, the bad homer fly ball. Nola always struggles hanging that damn curveball. That's always been the issue. But I think the Pirates might even have the better offense right now. Phillies 219 average versus righties. Last 14 days kind of rough. Pirates flexing the discipline. Doing a little bit of everything. 354 ex-WOBA to the Phillies 298. That's a tremendous difference. That's like 5 3/4 runs, 5.5 runs to like 3 1/4 runs. Just saying how to look at ex-WOBA. So Pittsburgh feels like they have the edge on the bump. Even if we call the offense is a wash, the top end of the Phillies' offense is definitely better than Pittsburgh, but I think Pittsburgh might be a little more balanced. Griffin is rocking and rolling. So you check out the Algo. I got a pretty clean win for the Pirates, and I think, man, I wonder if I could shrink this down a little bit and get my picks in. Sorry, everybody, just 1 second. You get that when you roll with us, by the way. I don't always post bets, but I've been finding I get a ton of requests for the show picks, right, which are the picks that we kind of talk through on the show. I end up listing them all on the Algo board. Now, I don't go live at all of them, but it is where the live picks come from. And, I've had a lot of people just really love him. It's like shorthand for the show, right? It's a little bit of the model read and a little bit of my opinion, and it's how I feel after we've talked through it, included the stats, and shit, I guess it makes sense. So that comes included with every freaking thing else, along with football, football stats, data, differentials, player ranks, uploadable best ball shit. I'm telling you, I'm burning the candle at both ends, making it my singular focus to save you $2 worth of time a week. So I got the Pittsburgh for a clean win. That one moved from minus 125 to minus 135, where I still think I want a piece of that ass, yo. Next up, it's the Macho Man, Trey Savage on the bump for the Bluebirds. Winds blowing in on the road down in Detroit Rock City, 8 Mile to face Ty John Madden, the turducken, plus 108. Underdog at the crib here. I think the takeaway is that Madden is not like a traditional opener. This guy went 5 and 6 clean innings. He's a starter. Now, he wasn't used that way, but I heard, I'm not going to call them out, I heard somebody mention him as a reliever, he's like a bulk guy, but they said something wrong, like opener or something like that. And that's just not the case. So Madden really good. Toronto's offense has been riding the freaking damn struggle bus, you know? Although that's a fucking train. I don't know why I do that. It feels like the same story on both sides. We've got really strong pitching in a good spot against teams that I think are talented, but have really struggled versus righties. You could see that up on the board. Sub 35 hard hit rates for both, 650 or worse OPS, 330 or worse slugs. I mean, they're just not hitting. I think they'll eventually, get up off the mat. Oh, yes. But when is it going to happen? I don't fucking know. Bullpen's probably a wash. Toronto's been better of late. Now they're kind of coming back to that mean again. I like Toronto. Detroit's the one that worries me more if it's tied late. I've got Toronto for a close win. Not enough to pay the minus 130. I don't think I'm where I got enough love on the plus money to bet the Tigers. So I think I'm on the under here. Yeah, that was my pick last night also. Give me Toronto and Detroit FGU8. And moving on. Next up, Shane Baz and the Orioles. Blackbirds and orange vests on the road. Minus 143. Pretty heavy favorites on the road in the nation's capital to face Zach Littell and the Nacionales. I've got a ton of scoring in this one. Book's not far behind. 5.5 and 9.5. Even at 9.5, I feel like because I'm over 4.5 on both sides, you want to be careful just adding it where it's, why would you feel so strongly about being over a 9.5 when the model is only totaled to 9.16? And it's because each team is over 4.5. So we're leaning towards the 5 on both sides. I think this one could kind of spin out of control. Baz has been awful. The velo is there, but the control has not. Single digit KBB. Same walk as K minus BP, which is terrible. Single digit swing and strike. Sub 25 CSW, 56 first strike, 93 zone contact. Same contact levels for Littell. But this guy is worse than a 7.5 expected ERA. I've got him up near 6, which is just crazy. 2.4 KBB, 42 hard hit, 12.5 barrel, 14 home runs, 3.5 Shamalama ding dongs for Littell. So I've got Adley Rutschman for a dong today. Baltimore offense has also kind of been riding the struggle bus. You could see last 2 weeks pretty whack. Nationals have really hit righties last 2 weeks, though. And I think the L7 may be extremely strong. Couldn't be a bigger difference in the L7. Not that it's everything, but it is a data point. I like to use it as a leading indicator for a trend change. Orioles kind of facing down. Bottom 3 hard hit, 4.5 barrels, 70 WRC plus, last 210 PAs as a team. Nats are really raking, but I'm just not buying a Nats win because I can't trust Littell. So if you're not trusting the Baltimore offense, maybe the answer is some kind of team total. I have them right here. Hat tip to Bet365 with the team total page. They don't pay me. Maybe they should. Where the hell? What am I doing? I just had like a massive brain fart. I'm not seeing the game. Oh, there it is. Baltimore 4.5 minus 140. Nats 4.5 plus 115. I think we want to face Littell, but then we want to face, I was going to say the Nats bullpen, but Baltimore's bullpen's been shitty also. I'd go over or nothing at all. All right, let's move it on. Next up, hold on, timer reset. And away we go. Jansen Junkbowler on the bump for the mighty Marlins. It's aquatic warfare as they head down to Tampa to face the flat fucking fish of Florida. Jesse Skolton's on the bump. Rays are a minus 125 dog. I immediately kind of made that like weird face and I was like, Huh? Yeah, my thoughts exactly. I mean, Skoltens has been okay. I think he's a better candidate for negative regression. Kind of like Junk, but without the control. The thing is, the control is the sticking point for Junk. Plus, Junk gets more ground balls, fewer barrels. So I think we have the pitching edge here. Not really sure what we're seeing last 30. Junk's been fantastic last 30 days. Also, remember, I did just add this. We made the move away from 2025 and now home and road splits plus last 30, just the basics. To give you an idea, again, of that trajectory, if a guy that you liked is going the other way or not. Again, not that I'm the biggest home road guy, but I do like to know. And Skolten's been much worse at home than on the road. And I think Miami might even have the offensive edge, though. They've come back to earth quite a bit. Ooh, it's gotten ugly and fast. Miami last 341 plate appearances versus righties, slugging 276. That dog don't hunt, bro. Oh my gosh. Sub 300 XWOB, but 322 XCon. But not really to be outdone by the Rays, who aren't doing shit. They somehow have fewer, extra base hits than the Marlins. A .036 ISO, man. This Rays team sucks. They're entirely too passive and getting no production. Last 7, I guess they've ticked up a little bit, but thanks, but no thanks. Both bullpens have been really good. So I've got Marlins and the under is what it feels like. If I'm getting the Marlins for plus money, I think they get it done because I believe just enough in the offense. And even though they've struggled, I like Lopez and I like Edwards. I'm a Stowers fucking hawk. Double Up Dave is on Tampa F5 and Tampa ML Carolina. Daddy, my boy. What's up, everybody, by the way? Jason, of course, Brian E, and the Huge. Says Tampa, uh-oh. Looks like I'm going up against the capos here. Uh-oh. Feels like that scene in Goodfellas when Tommy gets walked into the room and is like, ruh-roh. Uh-oh. I had to work that one in, yo. I'm such a fucking hunk. I really am. What a fucking weirdo. So yeah, I've got Miami. I think that one sticks. I like the plus money. I don't believe in the Rays. Gosh, I wonder. Man, I wish I could platform everybody because I want to know what everyone likes so much about the Rays. Where, all right, Double Up saying Rays versus righties are underrated, and I just feel like you sell me more if you were talking about the under. Jay says.
Doesn't work for me, brother.
Doesn't work for me, brother. All right, let's fucking move it on, man. Next up, okay, let me just check really fast. I had Chad Patrick. It's still unlisted, so I don't want to spend too much time. I was hoping we'd get 4 first names when Chad Patrick faced Joe Ryan. Cheesemakers, -105 on the road versus Minnesota. Man, I kind of like Joey Ryan blind, against a TBD, but that's a really good coin flip. Patrick is good. Henderson might be even better. I think he has a lower floor, but a higher ceiling. So right now, I think I'm on the under 4.5. I'll tell you what, if that's out there, I think I might like that. Regardless of those 2 starters, my worry, of course, would be getting rug pulled on the starter, right? To have them go somewhere else. Don't bet this until we get a little bit of a beat on it. I would want to go check, maybe look up and see if anybody reported who's going to start, if that's locked in or not. If I knew it was either Patrick or Henderson, meaning even if they said that, it's Patrick or Henderson, I want the under 4.5, F5. Patrick has been really good. Ryan is awesome. He bounced back from the injury looking great. Not sure what the downside would be here. Offenses are both pretty much ass against righties. Twins really kind of nosediving hard after that awesome start. Brewers returning big pieces and hasn't fucking made a difference at all. They're a ground ball machine. There's no hard hits to speak of. Minnesota ticking up a little bit, but a ton of strikeouts, ton of swing and miss. So again, if they get Henderson, I think they get shoved as well. So I'm in the under F5, but I don't want to mislead anybody that if they surprise us with some junk starter, that I don't want any piece of that ass. You know what I'm saying? Next up, hey, Abbott on the bump for the Red Legs, plus 114 dog. They're down in Forest City to face Tanner Bybee and Le Gardien. I've got the Guards for a pretty clean win. I think I caught some shit for this last night also. Again, remember, in the very best way. That show is fantastic. They get all the best prices because of when they operate. Kyle is super sharp. So is Toast. Kyle kind of quantish. Toast more hand in the dirt. Shout out my guy Spoon, also super sharp. We're going to try and hook up and get him on. What I like most about those guys, aside from they're really one of us, right? They're very funny, but they're open-minded. They don't take themselves too seriously. But between the lines, they don't just, it's not willy-nilly. It is extremely serious. So hat tip to all the Source Network crew and some of the following that's come on over here. If you could still stomach any more baseball, we're doing this shit 6 fucking days a week. Nah, I mean, Jelly Bean, check out the fucking model and the shit. Man, support good people. Best I could say. So we get Andrew Abbott on the bump. He's really fucking struggled. I mean, my model never really loved him, even last year when he was going crazy because the underpinning stuff was very poor. That's continued. He's giving me major red flags. If anyone is new and looking at the sheets, world famous pitching sheets, of course. Patent pending, right? That fastball section, don't just fly by it. Abbott, low velo, 92. Poor stuff, plus 88. But what's the difference between, well, Bybee has 2 miles an hour on the four-seamer. 94 is a lot better than 92, but regardless, it's that usage. Abbott forcing a low velo, bad four-seamer into the zone 46% of the time, for me, is a big part of the issue. He's trying to beat guys with a bad fastball all the time. If he's behind, which happens all the time, 56 first strike, you could see the pathway to demise for him. Cleveland versus lefties has also been okay, doing Cleveland things, patient, but capitalizing without power. Remember, it's not always power, because if you're getting line drives and you're running, you're getting doubles, plus walks, getting on base, you're going to score runs. So I like Cleveland on the hitting side. Bybee, again, 417, 135 ERA whip combo is not stellar, but I think the underpinning stuff is a lot stronger. 13 swinging strike. You could double that up. Shorthand is a 25, 26K. 29 CSW, he's winning in zone. The home to fly ball rate and the BABIP, I think, has been the major issue. Reds offense just not really scaring me versus righties. You know, again, too patient. They don't chase, which we like, and they've converted some dongs. So maybe they are starting to get it going and become the Reds team that we thought. And you know what? If the L7 is in any indication, then I think you have your data point there. So it's not to mush anybody or I'm smarter or better than you. My thing is, even if you're correct about the Cincinnati offense, maybe leveling the playing field against Bybee a little bit. My issue is the Reds bullpen. You could see it up on the board. Maybe objectively the worst bullpen right now. After, what's his name? Pagan went down. Yeah, no shit. Time for a mercy flush, yo. Thing is caught sideways. It ain't going down. 7.36 ERA through 51 and a third. 51 and a third innings, pretty decent sample. To have a 7 and a third ERA, the Sierra is at almost 4.7. 14% walk rate, 90 zone contact, 41 hard hit, 13 and a half barrel, almost 2 homer 9. Like, where is the relief here? Where is the relief? You ain't getting it. The only guy that you could rely on is now fucking out the pasture for the time being. So I just don't see it. Again, I've got the Guardians so strong in this one. I'm almost bordering on the run line. Now, I try not to be greedy. If a team is at minus 140 or better, which we're getting with the Guards, I generally don't go for the run line, which I view as being kind of greedy, especially if you're at home and you lose that last frame. You could be up 2 and give up that run, on a sacrifice that they don't give a shit about. Those are the fucking stone cold worst. So I'm going to stick to my guns and stay with the Guards. I think they come home with the dub. Next up, Cameron Schlittler damn near Kildler on the bump for the bad guys. Evil Empire on the road in Queens to face Clay Holmes and Let's Go Mets Go. Plus 130 for the Metropolitans. I don't know. This one I have is yuck chalk. Oh, man. All right, people coming in, Sean. I'm going to try and get you right now. I know. Just give me 1 second. You're in, brother man. You're in, brother man. I gotta quote this. It says, I paid the fee. I need the spreadsheet. Yes, you do. I got you, bro. If anyone is wondering how that works, you sign up, but because the data is hosted third party, you sign up, I get confirmation, and then give you access, and that's it. You don't get access one time, and that's it. Whoop, you're good. The sheets have different access points. I don't fucking know. So if you want the NFL, hit me up for that, and I'll get you separately, and then you're off to the races. So what I mean when I say, man, good chalk, I guess it goes, I don't know, without saying, so let it be said. I don't like to pay chalk. So this is a game that I think the Yankees win, but I think it's modeled too close. I think it is too close. Even I probably disagree with the model. The model's still a little colder on the Mets than I am. I think the bullpen's bounced back. I think the offense has bounced back. And Schlittler has been great. Like legit great, but minus 157 on the road in a tough spot against this iteration of Clay Holmes is a fucking tough sell. 48 and a third of a 186, 101 ERA whip combo from Holmes. I mean, Schlittler's been out of fucking control also. You're not going to get all the big, sexy strikeout stuff from Holmes, but I think a good way to beat the Yankees is to fill the zone, 34 ball, keep it down, 57 ground ball. Yankees are also kind of slow, if you ask me. So they're like a walking double play all the time. Yankees v. righties are always going to be good, but it's the Mets v. righties that I wanted to focus on. Not striking out, cutting the swings and misses. Now, I'm not calling for an under on the Schlittler case. I think he's going to get his. But the power stuff for the Mets, you just can't undersell. Because, again, it's coming with low K, high walk, low chase, high contact, high fly ball, high hard hit rate, high barrel. This is all of the best parts of an offense as far as traits go. And then both bullpens are awesome. Mets bullpen's even been better than the Yankees as of late. The year-to-date stuff is starting to hit that elite point. So I was hoping the public would push up the total because of the names on the jersey, or in the Yankees' case, is the names not on the jersey. To maybe try and get under a 7.5. And maybe that is out there. Because right now I'm seeing a U7 at even money. So that would be my play. I put Yankees minus 150. I don't even fucking want that shit. So 3 scratches of the third chins means I'm not really interested. Let's just move on. Next up, my boy Connolly early on the bump for the Bo Sox. Red Laundry plus 130 underdog on the road in the dirty to face Spencer Strider and the Bravos minus 157 at the crib for the home team. Again, I'm a admitted Connolly early fucking honk. Total stand, no question. Going down with that ship. Double up Dave, respect to the Sauce Boys. You know it. And not just the on air, the actual community. I've been speaking to people, the feedback, people not only sign up and support my work, but then I get really cool, comments. Thank you, and I appreciate it. The hard work, it's obvious. I just really great stuff. So I'm really kind of proud to be a part of what they're building there. And it's encouraging for the rest of us who are very much anti the low IQ stuff going on out there, right? We can't stand the fucking filter queen. We don't want to deal with the fucking bowl cut momos. We do not want to deal with the chief jiggling officer and her jiggling bets. This is exactly what's wrong. But the thing is also, we don't want to get rid of it. We just want to make fun of them because they're fucking idiots. But we don't want to get rid of it because we want, unfortunately, right, we want some people to be stupid enough to fall for that stuff. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. So early showed us a bit of what I thought, we would get. Double up, read my mind, brother. Although I have to ask, is that live? And no one here owes me anything. But I would ask the favor, if you put a bet, let's get a price. I've been talking a lot about totals and how you have to price for alts and stuff. So sorry to bury the lead if you're not looking at the video or listening to the audio later on. My guy Double Up mentioned the F5 under, which, again, I don't want to bury the lead. That's exactly the play that I like. That was the thing I was on from the get-go. What is throwing me off is the full game total is 8. The F5 under generally wouldn't be 5. So I was getting ready to go under 4.5. He's saying 5. You could find a 5. We definitely want that. If not, give me the 4.5, depending, under 4.5 F5, depending on the price. If not, I think we can get under, oh shit, I had under 8.5. Goes to show you, again, what I mentioned before, right? You want to be listening to the guys at Source Network, regardless if I'm on or not, because the early bird gets the fucking worm in this stuff. And there's a bunch of really good nugs and Easter eggs in the sheet that I was just showing. All of those numbers were the numbers that we cited on the show last night. There's got to be 3 or 4 fucking totals that move. And there's a bunch of money lines that have moved 20 cents. And it's like that minus 125 to minus 145 is a big fucking difference. It really is. So, I mean, those boys' bellies are full of worm meat. That's how you rock and roll. All right, on to Strider, who's back. I was quoting the whiff rates on his 3 off-speed pitches. 50, 51, and 81. I don't care. I don't care if you went out for one game. I don't care if you threw fucking 3 innings. If you have an 81% whiff rate on a pitch you've thrown more than, 4 or 5 times, even if you threw it 5 times and you got 4 whiffs, that's freaking awesome. So to me, Strider is back, wheels up. Boston offense, total ass. Atlanta offense is good, right? Is good. However, this might be one of the spots that I have more of a focused eye on the L7 because they lost Acuna. Now, we could back it up to the lefty stuff, which, again, has been somewhat strong. Somewhat strong. They've gotten production, though not walking too many ground balls. Again, I'm biased. I really am. I'm fucking biased. Boston has the bullpen emoji. I put it up just because, but it's not terrible. So Whitlock went back-to-back, but only 22 pitches. Slayton back-to-back, but notice that Chapman's not even on there. So Chapman available, and it's everyone else. But if they need him, back-to-back with under 25 pitches are when you get the third in a row. But I never want to throw that baby out with the bathwater because it is something I very much believe in, which is once you get to that third day in a row, it's just a game of roulette. This is Russian roulette. You have a chance of there being a bullet in the chamber that you're not any good that day. That's just what it is. That's why a lot of coaches won't do that. Some of them have hard stops on usage, but from what I understand, whenever you hear them talk about it, the pitch count is always a big part of it, which is why I'll include 30 or 35 pitches on the report, even if it's a single day, because I've heard that way too many times. Pitchers will say, "Oh, that guy got a little bit too much work. We're not really going to use him." Or reporters will ask after the fact, "Why didn't you go to so and so?" And he'll say, "Well, he threw 38 pitches yesterday, and we didn't want to do that." So, just some more nuance and context that pours that is the bullpen report part of the work every day. Again, maybe we're up to 7 pounds of shit in a 2-pound box. Yeah, so whatever. I'm on just the under. Let's move that bitch on. I guess that was a classic time waste by me. We had the pick made a long time ago, and I just wanted to talk about my boy. Next up, Edwin Cabrera on the bump for the Cubs. Winds blowing in on the wrong side of the track. Same Windy City to face Sean Burke and the Pale Hose. I'm not going to bury the lead here. I've got the White Sox for an outright win. Let's go. Dogs are barking. That was the damn thing I couldn't think of. I was playing around with these stupid sound effects. I'm obviously addicted. Right, I can't control myself. I even have ones that I don't use. I couldn't help myself. Could you blame me? But I couldn't think there was one. I'm like, there is one sound that I know we've mentioned that I want. Well, I'm sorry. I literally try my best, but I haven't slept in 40-something hours right now either. So yeah, I think we might have a slight pitching edge. Burke's been really good. We love the command and control. The thing that's been bothering me about Cabrera, and this would have been, me losing my left testicle in a prop bet if I had met the time traveler who told me, yo, psst, you, fat guy, yo, Edward Cabrera is going to have a 36 ball sub 8 walk next year. I honestly, man, I'm going to look like such a fucking idiot. Let me just get this out of the way. Simon said, oh shit, is he going to compete for not like compete for Cy Young, but is he going to be an SP1? Is he going to be a front end SP2? And that wasn't the case. Go freaking figure, man. Go freaking figure. He has not gotten the cold stuff ahead. The stuff plus has taken a major drop, and he's not winning in the zone at all anymore. So this iteration of Cabrera is okay, but it's not the guy that I've loved in the past and hoped for. So he's in zone, and getting hit pretty damn hard. Then you have Burke, with the command and control, and I think his L30 is really good. Cabrera last 30, 5.16 ERA, 1.4 whip. Berkey's last 30, 3.7 ERA, 1.10 whip. And I think the White Sox might have the offense right now. I know everyone is jocking the Cubs' offense. They are good. However, everybody takes their downturns. Everybody goes in waves. You can't look me in my face and tell me this Cubs team, look me in the face. You can't look me in the face and tell me that this Cubs team is not, in a down wave right now. Look at the bottom fucking 3 offense. Okay. You can't be the best team in the league on offense if you can go through a 7-day span batting 148 with a sub 500 OPS. That's a 43 WRC plus. The Cubs are absolutely eventually going to get up off the mat. We know this. However, right? But. The trend is looking you in the face. Why would you continue to try and catch the falling knife, forcing the reversal before you're getting signals? Then, of all the surprises, as if that surprise wasn't enough, White Sox bullpen's been humming right now. They're through 42 innings over 2 weeks of a 1 flat whip with a sub 200 batting average, 7% walk, 3.5 barrel, half a homer 9. They've taken 1 loss in freaking 2 weeks. Right now, the public is entirely too cold on the White Sox. Hold on. USM says, not a cool comment. I'm here after getting sauce last night. I appreciate the hard work and the deep dives. Help me so much. Handicapping. What's not a cool comment? Did I say something fucked up? Are you into the chief jiggling officer? Then I'm sorry. Everybody likes a good warhammer now and then. Well, if I said something silly, then I got to apologize. You know me. Then Jeff Bell says Papa Toast. Yeah, Papa Toast. Yo, that shit is mad funny. Unity. All right, come on. Let's get back on track. Focus. Stay focused. We're almost there. So yeah, give me the White Sox to win. I feel pretty good about that one, and just moving it on up. This one, I was so torn. Sorry, let me expand this for you. Jack Torch Leiter on the bump for the Rangers. They're on the road against the Astros and Spencer Arrighetti and Meatballs going for Houston. Wind is blowing out, and I'm like, I don't know anything. I like Jack Leiter. I've always liked Jack Leiter. Hold on 1 second, Ray. I got you right now. I just saw that. Hold on, brother, man. Oh, you got to send the request. If not, you got to wait for me to put up the link. If you send the request, I'll get you in real time. If not, just wait for me to get off the air. So I've backed Leiter many times. I always liked Leiter. I liked Leiter coming up. He was a bit of a roller coaster. That can happen. He has these really bad innings sometimes where it makes it very frustrating to handicap because he'll go through like 4 perfect innings where he looks like a fucking super stud, and then the 1 bad inning, and again, not to paper over for my guy, it's bad. It's wild. It's missing. He looks frustrated. Like it's frustrating. It's all that stuff. So look at that. You would think I would love this. The high CSW, the high swinging strike. He wins in the zone. We get in strikeouts. Even the walk rate is under control. But again, the spin out has been rough. I also don't know what to make of the Houston offense. The deeper into the season we get, the worse they seem to be. And I'm at war with my inner quant, always looking for the larger sample, right? Look right here. I'll show it to you. Astros last 14. This is ridiculous. 285 OBP. They have a plus 20% K minus BB. Now, I know we generally use K minus BB as a marker for pitchers, and it's a great stat. Most very good analysts, if they could pick one stat, would pick that one. Excuse me. However, for some reason, we never use it on the flip side, and it's legit the same stat, and it says the same things, just in reverse. Right? So there is something to be said about a team's discipline in KBB, something that nobody talks about. They have a plus 20 KBB, 13 swinging strike, bottom 8 chase rate, 295 xWOBA. So if you're on that sample, you're kind of like, this is whack. However, right, but, that freaking big shaking ass. With your fucking big ass. With your fucking, you and your fucking big ass. Look at it, sorry. Astros beat righties on the season. You have to account for what is top 5 across basically the board. Astros top 5, even top 6. Average OBP, slug, OPS. I mean, the things that matter. Pulled line drives, xWOBA, xWOBAcon. So they just continue legging down and continue legging down. So I just have so many mixed signals. Same for Arrighetti, who I kind of like on a per inning basis. Guy has a 188 ERA, but he's got a 5.38 expected. He's walking 13.5% of batters and not inducing chases. So if you're falling behind and you can't induce chases, you explain to me how that's going to work. It ain't. That dog don't hunt, bro. You have to rely on the Texas offense being terrible. They've clicked up in terms of power. That felt like it was happening anecdotal. It's also manifesting on the spreadsheet. L7, it's never going to be great. They fucking suck. Texas hits into a ton of double plays. Always. But the pulled hard hits are there, which are going to carry some of the underpinning stuff. Can't back the Rangers bullpen. Can't back the Astros bullpen. Rangers, one of the worst pens last 2 weeks. Houston, one of the worst on the season. Desperately in need of returning what's-his-face, freaking Hader. So I was hoping, talking through this again, I was going to have more of a determination. And it's not like you have to bet everything. And I think if you're so at odds, hold on, Mark S., we salute you.
This is Sparta!
Listen, you asked for it. You get it, right? I give the people what they came to see. Jeff with the big, wet, shaking ass. Oh, dude. That goes fucking way back. I forgot about that. The soap. Get your fucking dish soap. It's a big, fat, wet, shaking ass. Oh, my God. Oh, no wonder my stream got fucking killed. Right? All right, so I started out, before we move on from this, I could probably spend the day talking about this because this is all the things that kind of confuse me. I started out liking Houston. I thought Houston at home was the price. Oh, hold on, let me bring the thing up that changed my mind. So then when I talked to the boys, they were making really good points about it was light. Was it lighter lefties? I thought it was it Arrighetti career lefty? Oh, it might have been. They were worried about Arrighetti's xFIP and whip with the walks being a problem to lefties, and Texas is going to force feed you a bunch of them. I think that was the point. Again, my brain is starting to come. Yes, that's what it was, right? You're going to get Peterson, Nimmo, Seager, Carter, and Osuna like in the first fucking 5. So when I re-racked, I ended up with Texas ahead, but it's by a smidge. But you only need to think they're going to win by a smidge to bet the minus 110. If I had to take one, it's Texas. But honestly, I think I'm just gonna leave it alone. You know, I hate for that to blow me up after spending half my morning talking about how I can't fucking come to a decision. This one I got pretty easily. We can get right through this. Michael Waka Flocka, Waka 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 on the bump for the Royals with cheese. Minus 105 against the Cardinals and Dustin May. Cardinals have the bullpen emoji. Their top guys are stretch, right? O'Brien, 2 of 3, Romero, 2 of 3, and Stanek, 2 of 3. Those are the only 3 guys you're worried about. To me, the big thing it's got to be May. Damn it, I could have had a really good setup if I was a better host, right? What's the main concern in this one? It's gotta be May. There's probably a fucking button for that somewhere, too. So I think Walker is the much better pitcher. I know May has been great as of late. He's another right guy flying in the face of the larger samples. May's last 30, and this is the thing, right? So he hasn't given up runs. 2.76 ERA. However, you really can never just use ERA. And even with the home road stuff, I know it's there, but it's only to lead you further. You should be making any determination on ERA. Because the 2.76 ERA that people might be sinking their teeth into, right, the recent production, it's still nearly a 4.5 Sierra and just an 11 KBB, where May's got the velo, which I know people love because it turns into these GIFs and stuff. Look at the numbers versus lefties. 343 BA, plus 900 OPS. And you're going to get a few of those also. You know, they'll probably push up. You're going to get Pascantino, Jensen, Caglione, and then the back end of the lineup. This is what Toast was talking about. God, I love Toast, man. The back of the lineup, which is not really a threat, they are against guys that can't put away lefties. If you're going to miss to Cag, who has the big EV, same for Massey, and then even Collins and Isbell. So to me, it's Royals with cheese, like by a mile going away. I think May gets exposed, comes back to earth a little bit. I think the Cardinals bullpen is okay, but they're stretched in if they're behind at all. I don't think you get the ace part of the bullpen, which is part of the calculus. And I think this is also another hat. I've just been glazing the shit out of Sam today. He's going to wake up with fucking wet draws. But it was after hanging with these guys once. Literally, if you want to find the day that Cooked Bullpen Report started, it was literally the day after I was on Source Network for the first time. I said, holy shit, bro. You guys are digesting and presenting bullpen stuff in a way that I hadn't really thought of. I mean, yeah, we know they're wonky, but that was my problem. I said, oh, they can't be predicted. I'm not saying they can be predicted. But doing the work that these guys are doing and that I'm trying to expand on is a huge leg up. And I'd also, last point before we move on, bullpen stuff is the very last thing to move numbers, right? So, because it's the last thing the public gets to, it's the last thing anyone gets to. So being in front of the bullpen stuff, that's what that emoji is, right? When you see the emoji on the Algo board, you know to go to the tab. Remember, if anybody is listening for the first time, all this stuff is available for free today. Check out my handle at John Laghezza, Laghezza on Twitter. And the link is there. It's no signups. There's no strings attached. Absolutely nothing. You don't even have to become a free Substack sub. Just fucking use it. Try and make $8 and sign up for a fucking month. You know what I mean? Make $88, sign up for the fucking year. You know what I'm saying? Help me keep the lights on and my smoking hot wife happy and the beautiful kids fed. So, yeah, give me the Royals with the winner. And let's move on. Next up, I would not waste my time on this one if we're not going over. Merrill Kelly and the Diamondbacks are on the road against Colorado. I think this one is a pretty obvious way to go after this. Look at the brains on Brad. Say what again, motherfucker? Oh, that's a good one, too. Gee, damn. I'm going to start just collecting it. I'm going to end up with a million of these. Say what again? Does he look like a bitch? What? Say what again, motherfucker? You have to know people like that to really truly appreciate the fucking humor in someone shitting their pants. All right, so don't bother looking to do pitching analysis. Of course, right? Kyle Freeland is back. You know what? I don't want to misquote shit. I went big nose without the proper info. Did he make his last start? That's what I'm only checking. If he even made, I don't even think I give a shit. It's like, I don't want to double count the shittiness, right? There's enough turd there. Okay, so it's a little delay. He pitched on the 9th, so it's not regular rest. It's only a day or two more. Not that, doesn't matter. He's given up 12, 16 earned runs in his last 14 innings. Freeland is a trash can. Kelly, I don't want to say he's a trash can. I think he's hurt. So the best way to go about these games, rather than betting an 0-12, which is hard to get on one hand, but also we could go over before the first 5 at the same token. Remember, Coors, it's not so much home runs, it's about BABIP. These guys are pitching to contact in bad splits. Colorado's offense has been way better at home. I have a Moniak home run. That's not where I was going. Where I was going is take advantage of these parlay sites that allow you to combine SGP without really taking nuts on your chin with the tax. Source Network is sponsored by Prize Picks. They don't pay me. Maybe they should. I fuck with drafters.com. They don't pay me. Maybe they should. I will speak for drafters because I know the rules. I can actually bring some up right now in real time. You tell me. Let's see if we could piece something together just really quick. Not to derail too much, but I love to leave these lessons for people just to let them know what we're dealing with. These games with these totals have so much opportunity. Why tie yourself to the binary output where if it hits, you could kind of rack and run with that and hit more of a progressive spot. So drafters.com has a pick'em page. Let me just get this Colorado game up. Now on drafters, and it's like this on a bunch of them, you can pair any 4 picks for 10 times. So these are live right now. So let's see if we can find any we like. We're going to focus on offense. Gabriel Moreno to score a run. Walt Schmidt to score a run. Perdomo, 2 bases we like. Vargas, 2 bases. Gurriel, 2 bases. Arenado, 2 bases. Or 3 hit run ribby. Goodman, 2 total bases. Rumfield, 2 total bases or a run. Tovar, single. McCarthy, 2 hit run ribby. Castro, single. I think I like the total bases plays here. You know, like I'd rather be on Rumfield and Goodman with Perdomo and Vargas, let's say. And instead of taking, you were going to bet a half unit straight on the total. You could take, let's say half of that, just to keep it clean. So a quarter of a unit, though I would probably go a little bit less, a quarter of a unit and play to 10-1. You could, theoretically, cut it in 5. Half unit in 5 is a tenth of a unit. Where if you were betting the half unit to win a half unit, more or less, right? Don't hold me to this shit. That's the same as any of those 1/10 unit banging a 10-1 on the parlay site. Except you could hit all of them, yo. You can hit all of them. Who is to fucking say this is not the game that ends fucking 13-11? It absolutely could be. You could run all of these guys, right? You create your little round robin. You could rack all of them and totally crush. And that, I'm not saying it's edge because, you know, you're risking and there's math to be done. But I really like that kind of angle. I think that was the word I was looking for. Wakey, Eggs and Blakey. Mr. Snell on the bump for the Trolley Dodgers. They're on the road down whatever highway that is to face Jack Kahanowitz and the Angels. I don't know. Even with the downtrend in the Dodgers offense, I still have them cracking Kahanowitz. I'm not a fan of his style. He's been wild and pitching in zone. I think that's how you lose to the Dodgers. They're generally patient. The offense has not been good. Snell is a major question mark, so I'd be careful paying for any run lines. Ben Rice Freak says, let's pop some hoods here. You know it, play. I just really fucking appreciate you guys. Remember, it ain't madness, yo. This shit's Sparta, baby.
This is Sparta!
Charge. Appreciate you all for supporting the show. Please press the cartoon fucking thumb button because it matters entirely more than it should. All right, I think there's only 2 plays here, right? If you... Oh, and that to preface it, because the Dodgers team total is 5.5, that's really high. That's really high. If you believe Snell is fine, remember, he kind of got rocked that first outing. You have to discard that. We don't care. If you think he gets back to his spot, Dodgers run line. If not, remember, Angels have done damage against lefties this year with the sticks, and it's all power predicated. Right, so they're going to swing and miss. So Snell's going to get his Ks. But they don't chase, which is a down part for Snell, right? He's going to have to go in zone or walk. And they followed up with pulled, elevated batted balls with barrels. So I think the matchup is rough for Snell, unless, like I mentioned, you think he's back to the guy he was, in which case a fucking double Cy Young guy's unbelievable on a per inning basis. Legit, one of the best pitchers ever on a per inning basis. The problem is you don't get enough of the innings, right? And this is still kind of his spring to me. So the other play, if you think he has those misses, is got to be the over. There's a 9. I see a 9. I think there are also 8.5s floating out there. I could have swore I just saw an 8.5. I might be mistaken, and maybe it kind of corrected it in real time. All right, I see 09 minus 102, so there's probably a decently priced 8.5. I don't think I have the to go with the Angel win or run line here, but let me just. I guess it wouldn't shock me. It would. I'll tell you what. An Angels win would shock me if it stayed to the under. That would fucking shock me if they beat him in a shootout. Whatever. Who the fuck knows? Next up, it's the Macho Man. Yeah, Randy Savage. Vasquez, on the bump. Cream rising to the top for the Padres. Plus 118 dog on the road in the PN dub to face my boy Emerson John Hancock, my favorite founding father, Ems. Minus 142 at the crib. This one fucking pissed me off. This is another. I'm going to call these are worm meat. Right? These plays are worm meat. What's worm meat? Worm meat is when you are on the Source Network or hanging out with any kind of sharp. You identified a play that you like as a winner, but the price makes that move because they were up early. Early birds feasting. Lazy fucking walruses eating last. That's the difference. This is exactly right. So I guess you got to take my word for it. But like this was up, Mariners were minus 133. I said it on the show. I like the Mariners 133. My fear is I don't feel the faith. I don't have the confidence right now to pull the trigger. And when I wake up, it's going to be minus 145. And I'm going to be a sour little bitch with sand in his vagina. And that's what I am, I love Hancock. I think he shoves. I think the fucking Padres offense is terrible. Last 14 v righties, 328 PAs. They're batting 185 with a 293 slug. 546 OPS is ridiculously bad. And then the discipline has been awful also. This is just not, your Uncle Rico's fucking Padres team. This is not your Papa Toast Padres. They're terrible. They're straight up terrible. Mariners, on the other hand, have, started to get it going. Vasquez, who has cleaned up his approach, I think is in line for a little negative regression. If he's going to be in zone, he's always had some struggles with lefties. You're not going to be able to pull off 45 ball, 43 pull, 42 hard hit, 12% barrel with a sub-1 homer 9 for long. So I still have Seattle to win it. I don't think I have the confidence to pull the trigger on the fucking run line, but maybe at plus 165 I do. That's the shit right there. That is really... Okay, so this comes down to my personal flaws. And I mentioned this yesterday because it's the truth. I'm very honest. I have no problem betting an NFL favorite at minus 220. I do it. I don't want to say I do it all the time, but I'll absolutely do it. Baseball, I don't like to go outside like what that right here. I'll get 145. So I'm right on the edge. Right on the edge. But I don't like to go beyond minus 150. Baseball's so freaking variant. Is that what did I say? 45 right now? So I don't know. I'm on the fence. I think they get it done. The worry is, of course, that San Diego bullpen has been excellent. So if Vasquez holds his own, even if Seattle is ahead after 5, you're really not sitting pretty. I'm all right with the Mariners bullpen. We're not pulling the eject button. Munoz corrected course. They've been okay lately, but fact of the matter is, you're never going to feel comfortable in a tie game versus the Pods late, unless, of course, you look at the Padres lineup card. So I got Mariners to win, but I'm not in love. Last but not least, hope everyone is enjoying the show. Appreciate the people who have signed on as paid subs throughout it. Appreciate every one of you, the couple hundred people watching fucking live all over the world. Appreciate you, for real. If you don't catch the video, there is a audio version that comes out. It's abridged. It has all the ums and the uhs taken out. I have a cool program that eats up all the dead space, and you get it in a lot quicker. But then again, remember, the longer the model is out, the longer this show is out, the more all these prices are going to move in our direction. Again, I try to be modest, right? I talk about range of outcomes and how I suck and I'm stupid and get things wrong all the time. After a certain point, you got to be realistic. Like, there's a reason I'm able to rock this thing public facing all the time without people constantly coming for my fucking throat, because we're always in front of the market. We front run the market. And it's a good thing and a bad thing. I should be charging more so it would benefit fewer people and be a bigger benefit, but I'm trying to give more regular Joes a leg up in the information war, because I feel like there's such a predatory nature. Again, it's content creators preying on people, also books preying on people, and then books are hiring content creators to prey on people who just don't know any better. And I feel like sometimes, because I see these messages, people hear the show once, or even talk about the comment section. Again, this is why I appreciate you guys so much. Jeff, Carolina Daddy, Mark S., Double Dave, Jason, and Jeff, and B Rose, and BE, and BGC, all my fucking homies, capo status achieved. They'll say, holy shit, I learned 12 new things looking at the comment section. I learned 25 new things. I unlearned 25 things. And there's no better compliment for somebody like me who, moving away from professional betting and into creation. Now, if I'm not going to do that, I want to be the very best at this. So, thank you so very much. Why don't y'all take a fucking bath? All right, my throat's on fire, and we're approaching the hour mark, so let's get the last game in and out. Again, I think it's over or nothing, not to bury the lead, but we're playing in Sacramento. I don't want to be cute. Savali is not a bad pitcher, but the Athletics, for some reason, went and signed every low velo, high fastball usage fly ball pitcher in the league to pitch in this fucking AAA park. These are all guys we'd like in a regular park. Like, if similar to the Rays, if the A's were going back to the Trop, right, non-discriminate good pitcher park, we'd really like them, but I don't think you could back them, Again, because of the stylistics. Filling the zone with bad four-seamers against offenses that are just starting to hit a little bit. Giants' offense is ass, there's no question. Last seven starting to click. The reason I'm quoting the last seven is because they added a few new pieces, and I think that matters. I've always thought that matters, not just like 8D chess coming at you. More good hitters is better than fewer good hitters. I mean, if that doesn't convince you to pay, to pay your hard-earned money for my fucking work, I don't know what will. But all kidding aside, it's introducing guys. They also, remember, Harrison Bader is back. He's a, good center fielder and a pretty decent stick at the end of the lineup, right? No one wants him in the top four. He's batting eighth. We love that. They brought up Jesus Rodriguez. He looks really good. He looks competent behind the dish, and he looks like he's got a stick. They called up Bryce Eldridge. I would have done that fucking much earlier in the season. Maybe they'll play him all the time. He played 3 in a row. Then he sat 3 out of 4. Now he's played 2 out of 3. Maybe they saw something they want to identify in the cage first. But Devers is starting to hit. So Casey Schmidt was sun running for a while. I'm just not trying to bury the Giants offense in these wonderful spots, right? We're not going to be pushing for the Giants against great pitchers in tough spots, but this is everything you could ask for. Giants bullpen's been terrible. A's bullpen's been terrible. Just look at the board and all the blue. So I got the over or nothing. Let's get the freak out of here, yo. I cannot wait to sit my fucking fat ass down and get some rest. I appreciate every one of you so deeply. Find it in your heart to support good people doing good work. 8 pounds of shit in a 2-pound box. When you rock with us, plus this fucking football. Don't forget about the football. I'll get you the link. All the advanced stats, plus the best ball ranks. Fantasy stuff is coming. I'll answer keeper questions. There'll be articles, plus exclusive audio. Check out the football pods as well. I'm just trying to burn the candle at both ends. We're just trying to attack all this shitty content at once. Doing it with quality plus quantity. So thank you so much for picking up what we're putting down here at Corked Stats. We made it to the stream without getting stricken down. To all my homies, capos in the chat. Jeff, I've learned a ton from you also. Oh, Brian asking where I'm going for cheesesteaks tomorrow. I don't know, man. Maybe I don't know. Maybe D'Alessandro's. It depends where it is. So let's get out of here. Enjoy the games. Enjoy the day. When we're done with the book, enjoy the pay. And remember, when you work this freaking hard, man, the winning feels a lot less like luck, yo.